Why hello there and welcome to this extra optional video. Oh, you might be here for several one reasons. Maybe you're very smart or you're very curious, that's great. Or maybe you're just very kiasu. Okay, anyway, I hope they've already, please go and focus on your worksheet first, then come back to this extra video. Now in this extra video, I'm going to be talking a bit more about photosynthesis in detail. Now the first thing is that seems to be a longer equation for photosynthesis. In fact, if you look at your textbook, there seem to be two different equations for it. And then also you read this thing about the light dependent and the light independent reaction. Alright, so I'll just explain a bit of that in this video. And these are the textbook pages. For those of y'all who have been very hardworking reading your textbook, very good. You might have seen on page 120 this longer equation here. And then you thought to yourself, how come there's two equations? Right? Mr. Lin taught us this shorter equation, and then now there's this longer one as well. And the difference is very weird, right? Because in this longer equation, there's 12 water molecules, and then there's 6 water molecules on as the products. Why can't we just cancel off, right? Cancel 6 here, and then some becomes 6, right? That's the shorter equation. Why do people have a longer equation where there's 12 water molecules here? But that's because photosynthesis is not that simple. Alright, there's actually some details that I'm going to share with you in this video. Now the first thing to address is that why is there 12 water molecules here when I can just cancel off both sides? And why do I put 6 water molecules on this side? Now the thing is, this is because photosynthesis is not that simple. Alright, so this longer equation was put here because scientists wanted to know where this oxygen came from. Okay, the question is does the oxygen come from the carbon dioxide? That means the plant just take out the carbon and then leave behind the oxygen? Or does the oxygen come from the water? That means the plant takes out this hydrogen and then leaves behind the oxygen. So they did experiments and they found, alright, that the oxygen, these 6 molecules of oxygen, actually come entirely from water. That means the water molecules, hydrogen is taken out, and then all the oxygen that's left becomes the oxygen. So in order to have 6 oxygen molecules, I need 12 water molecules, right? If you're looking at balancing equations, right? Because here there's 6 oxygen molecules, you need 12 oxygen atoms, and here we have 12 oxygen atoms, right? So that's why there's 12 water molecules, because scientists have found out that the oxygen comes entirely from the splitting of water and not from the carbon dioxide. How they did that, you can go read up more about it. It's very interesting. Basically, they put some water with radioactive isotope of oxygen, and they found that the radioactive isotope ended up in oxygen and not inside the sugar. So that means that this oxygen that's radioactive became the oxygen molecules that was released. I told you it would be difficult, right? But anyway, good job for persevering. Now the second thing is, what is this light dependent stage and light independent stage? Now photosynthesis has 2 stages. So in the light dependent stage, it depends on light. So light is involved. But we already learned this. Light energy is absorbed by chlorophyll. And we know that light energy is used for 2 things. Firstly, it is used to split water molecules, right? We already know that. And secondly, this is something new. It is converted to chemical energy in the form of hydrogen atoms. So the chemical energy is actually in the form of hydrogen atoms. What do I mean? Right, remember the 12 water molecules. Right, we use light energy to split them up. We got oxygen, right? That's what's produced from splitting of water. And then we also have these 24 hydrogen atoms. This is our chemical energy. Right, so I hope that it's a bit clearer now. Light energy is absorbed by chlorophyll. It is splitting the water up. You get oxygen, and you also convert the light energy into chemical energy in the form of hydrogen atoms. Now, in the light independent stage, the hydrogen atoms, that chemical energy from the light-dependent stage, right? Previously, these hydrogen atoms, the 24 of them, they are used to reduce carbon dioxide to glucose. So here's carbon dioxide. Remember, we had 6 carbon dioxide molecules on the left side. If you add to it 24 hydrogen atoms, then through various enzyme reactions, you will get glucose and water produced. Okay, so basically, chemical energy from that light-dependent stage was used to reduce carbon dioxide to glucose. Now, what does this word reduce mean? Reduce or reduction means addition of hydrogen. So this carbon dioxide is, some hydrogen is added to it to make it into glucose. And water is also produced as a result. Now, the other thing is, photosynthesis is really not that simple. It is a multiple step process. Now, you might have thought that this step here, right, when I convert carbon dioxide into glucose, it happens in one step. No, take note, enzyme reactions. Many reactions are taking place. And when you go up to A levels and learn about photosynthesis again, please don't say Mr. Lin didn't tell you. That is actually a lot more complex than that. Right? There are things called the Kelvin cycle. Oh, this was like, it was killer for me in A levels. I had to memorize this cycle. And you realize that there are many reactions happening here to get your glucose. Furthermore, glucose isn't really the first product. In this complex thing called the Kelvin cycle, which produces your carbohydrates, you will see that the first product is not actually glucose, it is this half a molecule of glucose, right? It's not even glucose. So it's very complex, and that's why I warned you about this video. It's an extension, and hopefully this just gets you a bit more excited, yeah, about A levels. Maybe next time you're going to learn about photosynthesis at a higher level. Just remember this day that I told you that it wasn't so easy. And be glad that at the end of the day, all you need to know at O levels is these two equations. Smile. Right? So that being said, please go back to your word equation. Please go back to this shorter form of the photosynthesis equation. This is really enough for our purposes. Great. Thanks for giving the time to watch this video.